Over the past few days, our nation has been shaken. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, the senseless murder of the Ukrainian refugee, and not long before that, the devastating shooting at the Catholic school. These tragedies have sent a wave of grief and sorrow across our country. I have not felt this kind of mourning over our nation since September 11th, 2001, when the Twin Towers fell. I don't pretend to understand all that is happening in the atmosphere right now, but I do know this: we have reached a turning point. Over the past few days, I've carried a heaviness and a grief, as if I lost my own family members, and yet I didn't personally know any of those. However, I believe that this pain is an opportunity, not just for mourning, but for awakening. An awakening of our own souls, an awakening of our nation. Many times over the past few days, I've started to pray, asking God to take away the grief and the pain. But each time I stopped short because I realized this pain has a purpose. It's not something to simply escape from. It's something to walk through. It's an invitation to deeper healing, a chance for breakthrough. As I've sat in the quiet trying to process everything with God, I've discovered this moment isn't just about the pain of this week. It's brought up wounds from the past 5 years since our world was hit so hard from the pandemic. There's been a pressure over our nation, a spiritual tug-of-war between good and evil. I'm not talking about politics. This isn't left versus right. This is about pure good and pure evil. This is a battle for the hearts of men and women. This is about our freedom from the bondage of disappointment. This is about our vision. It's how we see, how we perceive, and ultimately the freedom to love and be fully loved. Since 2020, when the world shut down, something shifted in our culture. When we masked our faces and hid behind our doors, something was taken from us. We became isolated, disconnected, and increasingly self-focused. But I believe God is restoring what has been lost. I believe He wants to bring back the connection, first with Him and then with each other. He wants to restore the kind of intimacy that brings life and compels us to truly see and love one another again, from Him and then back to Him again. These past few days have felt like a divine invitation, an invitation to come out of hiding, to stop numbing ourselves, to allow God to heal our hearts in a way that brings lasting joy, peace, and freedom, no matter the chaos around us. As I sat with God in the grief, He began to show me something deeper. I saw the disappointments of the past 5 years, dreams that didn't happen, relationships that have been lost, loved ones who are no longer here. In that place of sorrow, I cried out to Him, asking God, why all this pain? Look again. That simple phrase wasn't a command to look more closely at the tragedies. It was an invitation to see with spiritual eyes, to look beyond the grief and the pain and to see what God is doing in and through it. You see, God does not orchestrate tragedy, but He promises to use it for good for those who belong to Him. And as I look around at the conversations happening, at the hearts beginning to soften, I realize this is not just grief, it is an awakening. Not long ago, people seemed numb, angry, shut down, and disconnected. But today, I see people weeping. I see leaders mourning. I see social media posts of sorrow and love. I realize people are feeling again. God is awakening our hearts, and often great awakening is birthed through great sorrow. Not because we get desperate, not because we finally get it right, but because God is that good, because He allows us to feel and to hurt, and in doing so, He reveals the depths of His love and mercy as He invites us into a place to simply look again and see with His heart and through His goodness. So when God told me to look again, He wasn't asking me to stare at the brokenness. He was asking me to see through it, to see that evil does not get the final word. His love is greater. His mercy is stronger. And right now, even though it may look like sorrow, what's really happening is a beginning of great breakthrough, a greater invitation with Him. This is the Great Awakening. It's not the one we imagine, but the one we desperately need. The awakening of the hearts that can feel again. The awakening of a people who have a capacity to love again, beyond the pain and the grief. The same hearts that can feel pain so deeply are the ones that can love so fully. So today, as our nation mourns the loss of Charlie Kirk and grieves the senseless tragedy of our time, I thank God, not for the pain, but for the capacity to feel it. I thank Him that my heart is alive, that it still aches, that it still has the ability to love and be loved. Because if we can feel this grief, we can feel great love again. And that means healing is possible. Hope is possible. Restoration is possible. Joy will come in the morning. This is an opportunity for each of us to come before God and say, Lord, heal my heart. Heal it from the past 5 years of fear, disappointment, disconnection, and discouragement. Soften what has become hard. Revive what has grown weary. Make my heart pliable again. We do not grieve as those who have no hope. We grieve with hope, knowing that on the other side of sorrow is healing, redemption, and a deeper capacity to love and be loved by the one who created us. Our Redeemer lives, and He is awakening hearts again.